Volatility may be on the horizon as we saw a little preview of that this past Thursday before the holiday. Markets were able to recover ultimately by the close on Friday. Futures were open and the rest of the world was open, namely the Korean Kospi. We'll talk about that. And we'll preview the week ahead here as we may be seeing a little bit more of that stuff sooner rather than later. But let's get into it here. So we had a little dip on Friday. Obviously, we bounced back here. And as predicted, Trump did get to tout his Dow, specifically new all-time highs. We talked about that in the morning video. That the Dow would be the one to close at new all-time highs, although they did hit the NASDAQ, but Trump had his cake and he got to eat it too, essentially. But nonetheless here, what was going on Thursday was you had kind of a yen carry, little hiccup. And you can see right after the non-farm number, well, actually it was selling off in the overnight, but the non-farm number here, it took a pretty good hit. So I think they used that for cover. Granted, it did really kind of close essentially right in the middle of that. So it didn't really continue lower, but it did send a little bit of a jitter through the market. We talked about this on Thursday's video. You know, the leverage here comes out from DRAM, from SMH, right? And it's going into other areas that have to have leverage unwind, right? Leverage works both ways. It's not just leverage long, right? There's leverage short too. And managed money has to balance out their leverage longs with leverage shorts very often. So IGV was up all week. We talked about that. We talked about MAGs, getting rotation this week. And this is something that we kind of previewed the previous week, saying watch for, rotation into some of these areas. And by the way, equal weight S&P, new all-time closing high on the weekly time frame, right? Dow Jones, new weekly all-time closing high. So there has been good breadth despite what pretty much everybody except for me is saying. But nonetheless, we had that leverage unwind here, and you can see the BOJ, courtesy of Zero Hedge here, essentially is kind of like made it known that they're going to do this, and they're not going to telegraph it as often, so that shorts have to kind of think a little bit more. But the positive here for the market right now is that this is already they've kind of gotten in front of this, and you've seen some distribution in semis the last couple of weeks. So it's not like the market knew this was coming, right? So we have degrossed a little bit, and I do think that the other positive is because of that, I don't think we're going to see a 2024 type event. That said, another chart I want to show you here is this one, just a grab, but it's correlation. So it's your 1 month correlation of all stocks. And, we talk about the dispersion trade almost every day here, but you can see right now, where we're at. This was earlier this week, actually. So I think it dipped even lower, but we're at pretty much like about as low as it goes, right? And you can see if you just line it up versus the S&P, it's led to, these levels have led to pullbacks here. So the dispersion trade getting a little offsides, but now it doesn't mean that it has to happen right away, like tomorrow. Sometimes often it does take a few weeks. But unless, and we're already at historically lows right here, like going back to 2017, I think we're actually, in fact, I can show you here. I just wanted to use that screen grab. But I think if we go back to 2017, you're looking at, but this is pretty much an all-time low outside of that, the carry trade blow up in 2024, right? So unless this support breaks again, and now our new trading range is 2 to 5 instead of 5 to 10, it does seem that could be something that's problematic here for the market. So I recommend right now, I think volatility is not a terrible hedge to own. As opposed to shorting the market outright. There's a lot of shorts out there. Michael Burry is now short Micron, right? This guy is addicted to shorting winners, and maybe he'll be right here, but he was wrong for a very long time in 2005, and just lucky he didn't get blown out there. And by the way, if you bought a credit default swap on Scion Capital Management, you would have gotten paid out big time because he doesn't have a hedge fund anymore. But sidetrack, bringing it back here. Yeah, I would say volatility is not a terrible hedge. It probably doesn't go too much lower. And shorting the market out right here could be a little dicey, especially if you get a really broad index thrust, which I think is possible with all these other sectors moving. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Moving on to next week, we'll take a look at a few things here, some dealer levels. I'm just going to show you Friday. but we'll start off with the spiders here. Obviously 740. There's your put wall below. And then above, you've got quite a bit of OI at 760. And dealers are long up there. So, and they're long, above 740. So that's kind of your put wall. I would say probably, 735, a quick stab down there would be okay, but you want to bounce right back above that afterward. And, otherwise it, could start to unwind, obviously, for, obvious reasons. There's about 1.8 billion in premium. Last I checked on that 760. So I believe, yeah, it was up a minute ago. Yeah, there we go, 1.8. So pretty heavy. So definitely not a small amount. And if we just want to visualize it here, get another little, this is a screen grab as well. We're kind of just working on this one. There you can see your 740 and then 760. That's kind of your expected move. I believe the ES expected move is a little lower, around 7489. Don't quote me on that though. But nonetheless, that's where this market is at. If you want to look at the SPX, we can do that here. Just excuse the scrunchiness on the chart. If you want to look at this every day too, you can come join us in the trading room. So now through July 31st, we'll also have 60% off first month active trader, 25% off swing trades. All courses are on sale too. Side note there. Also, you can come find me more on our main channel at Carnivore Trades. We do live streams in the morning and shorts intraday. But anyway, SPX here, yeah, I mean 74.50. This is for Friday again. Pretty cut and dry, right? So right in the kind of lining up with those SPY levels, 74, 74.50. But above that, you've got quite a bit of positivity. Now, where you might expect it to be weak is QQQ. Right, so kind of flat gamma. Deltas are green, but much weaker. 700's got a hold on any sort of dip. And excuse me, again, to visualize here, we'll look at IGV, for instance. So we're continuing to see that kind of rotation, right? Positive net dealer, they're buyers, versus SMH next week. They're sellers, right? So you have some negativity. So now 600 looks like it's more resistance than support. So we're still seeing that. We're still seeing that kind of relationship. I don't know if MAG's at. There's not enough OI on MAGs, but you get the idea. IWM also, this has been, it's been seeing that rotation. And yeah, 294. And I mean, there's right tails on here, big fat ones. So another, 10, 15 points above. So right now, that's kind of where we're at. We're looking at, the cash S&P right now, in a tightening range, in a wedge. I kind of like looking at the E-mini as well. I'll flip over here before we wrap this up. I just like the trading view rolls a little bit cleaner. But yeah, I mean, we rebounded pretty nicely, and the Kospi rebounded as well on Friday. So, it held the 50 MA. Even draw a trend line right here. Look at that. So nice little sweep of that. But yeah, ES, and I talked about this in the morning video on Carnivore Trades, and I don't think this sell-off is that bad here. I don't see anything structural happening, but and we did bounce right back up and close green. So there was some room here. There is still a little bit of room inside of this box to play around. That's why I was a little skeptical about a breakout on Thursday, but nonetheless, we stayed in range, and NQ, right, a little bit closer to that lower end, so that needs to hold on. Above that, though, we could see a lot of trendy action. So again, I think volatility, not a terrible thing to own here, but I'm not kind of convinced we're at time yet to see a major sort of decline, but always good to have something in your back pocket. Anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. You guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Carnivore Trades. Take advantage of the deals. They're not going to last forever. You guys take care, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow.